Warning, warning, if you're considering buying a Zenith watch, I want to tell you about my experience because it's very likely, if you're like me, if you're a watch enthusiast, this is going to happen to you. So let me tell you, I bought the Zenith Defy Classic 41. This is a watch that I've toyed with, that I've had my eye on, that I've admired from afar, at least for 2 years now. It's a really sharp watch. And I think if you ask around other watch enthusiasts, you'll get similar answers like, yes, I respect that Defy. I think that's a really cool watch. But, if I had $6,000, am I going to be buying one of those? I don't know. I think I might want to go get a Rolex Oyster Perpetual 41. Or you know what? I need an icon. I need a Speedmaster 3861 Metis Moonwatch. Or maybe I need to go with the Jaeger-LeCoultre Reverso and get the watchmaker iconic watch. You'll hear watch enthusiasts that will say, yeah, I like that watch, but if I had the money, I'm probably not going to be buying it. And I think there's something to be said with us watch enthusiasts. There's something that holds us back sometimes on admittedly awesome watches that are, horologically speaking, really cool and really compelling. I know I've been in that camp. Again, for the past couple years, I've toyed with this watch, but finally I just decided, you know what? I'm going to pull the trigger. I'm going to buy that watch. I want to try that watch out. And so I asked around. I called Federico of Federico Talks Watches, one of my friends, and I'll leave a link to his YouTube channel. And he did some digging and found an authorized dealer that was, willing to sell the watch, and I got a decent discount on it. I won't disclose what, but it was a pretty decent discount. And that's the thing with Zenith. You can usually find a decent discount depending on which watch you're going for. If it's a really hard to get, really hot watch, no, you're not going to get any discount. It is going to be model specific and authorized dealer specific. But anyways, shout out to Fed. He was awesome. Found me the watch I was looking for, and it came in the mail. And I unboxed it. I took it out of the big cardboard box, and then I saw the outer box, and I took that outer box off, and then I saw the inner box, and I opened that up. And finally, I got to the watch, and my first impression when I saw it was like, wow. I mean, that's as awesome as I remember, because I got to borrow a blue dial a few years previous, and it kind of takes your breath away. You go, yeah, that's a cool piece. That has a lot of light play, and the finishing is sharp. I mean, this is really good finish work. Then you put it on wrist, and you see the light play coming off of this grade 5 titanium. You see the different angles that the light is being reflected off of, the polished chamfered edges, the rigidity of the bracelet, and you go, wow, this is really well engineered. This is really well crafted, and it's incredibly comfortable. It's so lightweight, it really disappears on wrist. And then you look at the dial, and really the star of the show here is the open work dial. An open work dial is about working with form. A skeletonized dial is about more working with the void and the open space, but an open work dial is about the form. And Zenith really masters at working with form here and executing it to a visually interesting degree and a level of art that I can appreciate as a watch enthusiast. And then I found myself looking at the details more and, just appreciating the little elements like the cantilevered applied markers or the escape wheel, the pallet fork, which is done without stones. It's done in silicon and it's anodized. And so in certain lights, it looks blue. In other lights, it looks purple. It's really cool. It's unlubricated. And if you look at the form of the escape wheel here, it actually carries the brand logo. And it's so small, it's minute, and it's mostly hidden that you really wouldn't notice it unless you were searching for it. It's little details like that you begin to appreciate looking at this lovely dynamic dial. And then you look at the skeletonization of the date wheel, how they've integrated that. And really, I mean, it starts to take your breath away. And you go from going, yeah, that's a cool watch, I appreciate it, and then you're going, man, I'm really glad I bought this watch. This is so fun. This is so interesting. There's a lot of talent here being displayed by the LVMH group. You start to, I guess you could say, fall in love with it even more than you did previously. And then you notice the accuracy. This thing has been crazy accurate. I think I've only had to adjust the time once in the past 2.5 weeks, and it was only off by 1.5 seconds. It was ridiculous how accurate it's been. And so I'm looking at this. I'm looking at the light play. I'm looking at the design. I'm looking at the finish. I'm looking at the comfort. I'm looking at the dial details. And again, the accuracy, all of it. It's coming together and just showing that, man, this is a really strong release. Can I beat this? You know, if I had to pick a different watch at the same price, could I do better than this? And you start to wonder and you go, I don't know if I can. Like, I'm glad I didn't get offered that OP or that Cartier or, you know, the Metis Moonwatch 3861 caliber. You start going, this is so good. Maybe I should change the other watches that I'm looking at right now and look at other Zenith. Should I get the chronograph with the 1/100th of a second chronograph? Or maybe I should just get an El Primero. Maybe I should flip my Moonwatch that I love and get the latest El Primero. You know, what should I be doing? Should I be buying more into Zenith? Because this seems to be a brand that most people appreciate, but people aren't lining up to purchase. Maybe outside of the Chronomaster. That's a topic for another video. I don't want to make too many salty viewers here in this video. We'll save some salt for another video topic. Not this time, but for the most part, I don't think Zenith is a brand that a lot of people are reaching out and lining up to go purchase. And is that a good thing? I think it's a good thing if you're a watch enthusiast like me that wants a great deal, that wants to get in on an underrated watch, almost like a secret, right? You want to be part of that underground club. Zenith seems to be that type of brand. And now I'm finding myself going, hey, should I buy a Revival? Look at that ladder bracelet. Should I do this? Should I do that? Should I go Zenith heavy? And I think I need to explore this brand some more because I'm having so much fun. So fair warning, if you're considering a Zenith, it's probably going to turn out a lot like it's turning out for me, which is I'm loving it way more than I thought I would. It's such a fun, satisfying brand. Now I'm going to end with a question here. Is Zenith, is it a consolation brand? And what do I mean by that? Well, I know some watch enthusiasts, like I mentioned in the beginning, when they have, let's say, $6,000, $7,000, they're not going to line up and buy a Defy Classic open work dial with an Elite 6.7 SK movement. No, they're going to try to get that OP to where they spend $6,000, they walk out of the authorized dealer and they go, I just made $9,000 just by the watch that I bought and put on wrist. Now it's worth more. Look at how awesome I am. And then there'll be other watch enthusiasts that go, you know what? I want to buy that OP. I think that turquoise is gorgeous, or that yellow is gorgeous, or that coral red is amazing. That's the watch I want. I've always wanted a Rolex. They go to the authorized dealer, they call around, and they're met with, well, we'll let you know. There's no way they're getting that watch. You know, and so they're disappointed. They have, $10,000 saved up in the budget, ready to go. And they're meeting with the reality like, hey, if you want that Rolex that should cost $6,000, but if you really want, it's going to cost you $15,000, they're not going to buy that watch. And they're going to go toward other brands like Grand Seiko or with Zenith or with Breitling or with Omega. They're going to look at that World Time Aquaterra. They're going to go to other brands. And so I wonder how many of Zenith watch enthusiasts were funneled into this brand kind of as a consolation because they couldn't get that Rolex or that, that Snoopy edition Speedmaster. They couldn't get the watch that was hyped, that everybody wants, that everybody's talking about, one of the more, desirable watches in the world. They're funneled towards Zenith. And I don't know. I think that happens more than we would like to admit. And what do you think about that? I'll tell you my opinion. I don't care how you find Zenith. If you think Zenith is the coolest brand, you don't care about Rolex, you don't care about Omega, you don't care about Grand Seiko, you don't care about any other brand, you just love Zenith. I don't care if you're that type of watch enthusiast. I don't care if you're funneled into Zenith. I don't care if you creep up upon Zenith like you've always admired them and now the opportunity's right or you find the right price, whatever it may be. However you find this brand, I'm glad you found the brand because the brand is awesome. I'm having a lot of fun with it, and I'm looking forward to doing the full review. I'm going to do a full review on this watch, but I want to get out of the honeymoon phase before I do it so I don't sound like a stupid sap with silly hair talking about a mechanical marvel on wrist. But we will do the full review, so let me know if there's something specific you would like me to cover. Let me know if you agree with the sentiments that I've shared, my thoughts here on the channel. Just consider this this video a fair warning. Warning if you're considering a Zenith. Thanks for watching today, guys. I really appreciate it. I hope you have an awesome day. I'll see you next time.